Hello and welcome to Long Time No See, the podcast, coming to you from Gold Diggers Recording Studios in Los Angeles, California. We'll be getting to know some of your favorite comedians a little bit better, and so will they. Each week's guests have no idea who the other guests will be, so without further ado, please remove your blindfolds and introduce yourselves.
Oh, hey, come on.
Hey, man. How are you, brother? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So introduce yourselves.
I'm Matt Braunger.
I'm Shapel, Lacey.
And we'll start off nice and quick. What was your most recent bomb, and how did it compare to your worst bomb?
Oof.
Do you have one in mind?
No, not yet. Go ahead.
I'm trying to think of, because I feel like bombing is it's to a degree. I feel like comedians always
to a
have a
degree.
thing where it's like we'll get off stage and be like, yeesh.
Yeah.
See what I just ate? Like to other comedians.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, eat
you're
it. You know,
fine.
like
Yeah,
into
yeah.
my head though, like I didn't land this, I didn't land that. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of something where I just didn't connect at all.
That's what I'm trying to think of too.
Yeah,
where
like-
it was like just no connection.
It sounds like we're both like we're so good. When
I know,
is
right?
it? And I will tell you the time.
I guess for me it was probably some show in like Silver Lake. But it wasn't like. I mean, it was just like I'm like. I don't know if it's just because I'm black. In that east side.
Speak
area.
freely.
Yeah,
Please.
Like they just want to and just I'm like, why?
Because you're talking about maybe the black experience kind of thing, and people are like, oh no, I feel terrible.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I was adopted into a white family. Oh. And I'm like, yo, fucking eat a dick. And I'm like, it's gonna be funny.
Yes. Just hold on.
Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, I hate it. Like, that's probably, I consider that a bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a bomb to me. But it still wasn't my worst bomb. No
Yeah.
way. No way.
Yeah.
No way it was not my worst. No way.
You know what? I did a show where it was like people were in their 20s. It's this experimental theater in
Yeah.
Los Angeles, and I had a bit where I just lost the whole crowd.
Yeah.
Where I was talking about how there's a tenet of the author Henry Miller where he's like to make me love you,
Yeah.
you have to defeat me. That's what he would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, I
It's
know
like,
Henry Miller.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
of course, Tropic of Cancer. And so I was talking about how I fell in love with a friend of mine years and years ago. It just never worked out. But she said something that fucked me up so bad.
Yeah.
You know when someone goes darker than you go?
Yeah.
Where you're just going at each other and they just have that boom.
Yeah.
You know? And so
Someone's gonna win.
Yeah. But she worked with at-risk youth. You know what I mean? And so she
Yeah.
was like, she said something like, "Oh, well, you're a loser comedian. How would you know? Blah blah blah." And I was like, "You're putting me down. You're into young girls, you know." And she didn't bat an eye. And she goes, "Not young, adolescents. You know, they haven't got their hips yet." And I was like, "Oh!" Like it was so foul. It was so foul that I was like,
Wow.
"I can't." You
Wow.
win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like you took a piece of my
That's
heart.
quick.
You know, like
That's quick.
that's a fast jab.
That's Mayweather.
That was so quick.
That's
Yeah,
Mayweather.
exactly.
That's what
I didn't even
that is.
see it.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
Sugar Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so she like and I said that, and it was like and the whole crowd was like, mm-mm. It was a thing of like they collectively were like, that's not okay. Like that's violence against women. And I was like, but a woman said it.
But it's like a woman said it.
No.
I'm quoting.
And to me, it wasn't like, ooh, can I keep that? Like,
yeah.
I'll never say that.
Yeah.
I feel weird that there's no women in this room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that was one of those things. And I remember another comedian. I told him about it, young gay guy, and he was like, oh, they didn't. He's like, their young virgin energy didn't enjoy you. And I was like,
They're young virgin.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't know anything.
Yeah.
You know, so they're
Yeah.
probably, they either were upset or just confused. Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but
that's how they are.
I visually saw people cross their arm like this.
Oh wait, you saw them cross their arm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, yeah. No.
They were against you.
Oh,
They
I
knew
know.
what- they knew what-
Against
they,
me.
They knew what they heard.
Yeah. Because I mean, you know, and it's like okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's like, you know, you'd rather swing and miss.
I'd rather swing and
Then
miss.
kind of
all
do-
day. I'd rather
yeah.
swing and miss. And I don't know. I walk on stage like I'm not looking to be liked. So
Yeah, good. Yeah, I am. Sadly, I wish, you know. I mean, I'm not here to lie. It's one of those
I'm not
things.
looking to be liked.
But it is.
You know.
I liked Dana Gould had that line where he's like talking about how we all have mental health issues. He's like, well, there's something to be said in that for like people who go on stage and beg for love from strangers for a living.
Yeah.
You know, that's like us.
I just got weird shit to say.
That's
how I feel.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's
I'm just
great.
like I just want to say this weird shit, and you guys happen to be here.
Doesn't matter you're here or not.
Is there a joke you recently heard that you wish you wrote?
Oh, I'm sure.
A joke I heard.
I get jealous almost every time I watch other stand-up.
Yeah.
There's so much good stuff right now.
There's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, man. Let me try to think.
I won't say a joke. I'd say an hour. I'd say Sam Morril's special that he did like 3 years ago on YouTube. That's on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's filmed in like New York. I don't know what club that is, but that whole special.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking.
It's great.
It's great. That's like one of my favorites.
Almost every
but
time.
I don't know if I have a specific joke. Though.
Yeah, I wish I had something to just pull out of thin air, but like every time I see Sam J, I'm just like, Jesus. Well, because James Austin Johnson nailed it.
Yeah.
When we were talking about her, he's like she's like Trombone Shorty, where it's like there's no breath that isn't a funny thing.
A funny thing. Yeah.
It's almost like she's inhaling jokes,
which is like hard to do.
Right. Yeah.
That
where
is
it's just a rolling wave, rolling wave,
where it's just
wave.
continuous.
Or just her manner is like she just rolled out of bed hungover and is just talking, and you're just like everyone's like crying. I've seen her working out her new hour. She just shot it. The special, and every time I saw it, there was like something new in there, and and there's always stuff that she says that I'm just like which I think is fantastic. Like if you can pull it off. I feel like the big problem that I have with a lot of comedy is where I'm just like, you're trying to be that, but you're not that.
But you're not that.
There are people that can just go over the line.
Exactly.
And,
and that's like that. I mean, that's a hard thing to like navigate. Because one thing about me, I love watching stand up. I watched like before I did stand up, really strongly got into it. Like I was watching a lot of it just to know. Then I was like, oh, I actually enjoy watching this. So I still watch it as if it's like as if I don't do it. You know what I mean? As if I'm like a total spectator to it. So like, a lot of times I'm like, oh, don't do that. Like, that's what you heard that person do.
Yeah.
Like, you got to watch, like, just watch, love it, and, like, but, like, don't take, take that in. There's times where I've caught myself like, wait, why'd you do fucking Harlan? You're a big black guy. What are you doing?
It's like I see a lot of white guys try to be like Patrice O'Neal. And I was like, no, man.
No.
And it's almost too archetypal to use him as an example because he is
but that
the
is
gold standard.
That is a good example because you do see a lot of guys try to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, and there's one thing about Patrice, man, like he understood himself so well.
Yeah.
That's why he could do what he did.
Right.
Like, like harassment day at work, like that joke off the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Like he knew himself. He took the most crazy topic and made it so fun. You know what I mean? Like, which is like, it's a touch. That's a, women feel that every day when they go to some corporate job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do see a lot of that, and it's like, man, know who you are.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing you got to understand. People got to understand about Patrice is like, he knew exactly who he was.
He knew what an awful person he could be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And sometimes these guys,
and not only we all know deep down inside, but he would share.
Yeah, he would share.
Yeah.
But like some of these guys, like they're not awful people.
You're right.
And it's like, so why are you doing that? You're not an awful person. You know you're not.
Yeah.
You know you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
That's what I think about whenever people try to do the Patrice thing. It's like you're a fucking good guy.
Well, and people think that like, oh, it's not comedy if it's not pushing it, and it's like no, that's not true,
that's
dude.
That's not true either. Yeah.
Like I always think about how when like Chris Farley auditioned for Second City in Chicago, 100 years ago, the legend. Went that like they're always like play to the height of your intelligence. Do the smartest thing you can do on stage. And he came on stage and tripped and just crushed a table, a table that was like this, like a strongly built table. And everyone's just like, well, shit. We can't not hire that guy. Yeah. That guy's gonna destroy.
Yes.
So it's just like you just kind of
that is hilarious.
Find your lane. Yeah, it's like.
Hilarious.
And somebody went up there and I was like, I got all these ideas and I'm gonna weave a scene. And, And this fat guy's like,
that one. I probably would have tried to like do a math problem or something. Like, the smartest thing I can do. Yeah, let me this trigonometry. Let me break this fucking down.
So Descartes' philosophy.
Exactly.
Only through illumination of the
Confucius
mind.
Really.
If you guys weren't in stand-up, what would you be doing?
Oh God.
Fucking hospitality work. I worked at a hotel. I love working at hotels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like my favorite. Like I worked in hotels for like 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I loved it. I just like hospitality shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's-
That's what helps with like my anger. You know,
that's
like
cool.
yeah, that type of shit. Like, you know, I don't know. It's like this thing of like being at service
Yeah.
for someone and like organically and not like, you know.
Well, and being, you know, I worked for, you know, 10 years in like restaurants, bars,
Yeah.
you know, and
For
like
sure.
and like, but with a hotel, I heard this great description of it, which is it's like a constantly beating heart. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it always needs something. It always needs, even when
needs
it's
something.
asleep.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. And I never mind, you know, I don't mind anything like that. Like it just felt like nice to me. And then, you know, people are always like pretty satisfied with, you know, the way I treated them in their service. So like
That's great.
that's one thing I like. Yeah, if I didn't do stand-up comedy, I'd probably do something with hotels.
Did you ever read Heads and Beds?
Nuh-uh.
It's kind of like the Kitchen Confidential of hotels.
Uh-huh.
I'm forgetting the author's name. Actually, kind of a friend. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but like I read his book and like reached out online. I was like,
You're a
dude,
great
this is
friend.
great. You know, he's like, I know, I'm a good pal. Good pal.
Great.
Yeah, his name is something white guy, and no, but he there's
If he
some,
was like Patrice, you would remember him.
yeah, of course, he just spoke his truth. No, but he did. It's actually kind of a dark book, but it's actually really funny. And one thing it taught me, and this is a free one for you kids out there. I do this every time I stay in a hotel that's real nice.
Yeah.
And even when it's not that nice, I tip the host when I come in.
Yeah.
I give them when they're like ID and credit card, and I'll put like a 5 in there or a 10 if it's real
Yeah.
fancy.
Oh, so
and
you're
it's
not-
like
you're- yeah.
and they just
You're
go
good people.
they go thank you sir and put it in their pocket. And the reason why I do that is because A, everybody deserves a tip. B, there's always empty rooms. So if there's a
Yeah.
room that they're just like they're gonna kick
Yeah.
you upstairs
Yep.
to the
Ooh.
$400 room.
He
Dude,
knows
I'm
his
telling
shit.
you, the one thing, if you do it in Vegas, put the money in plain sight. Don't
I'll
try
tell-
to slip it because they're just like, please, you'll get me fired.
Yeah,
Put it
yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Smooth it out for the cameras.
Yeah, you got to do this at a Motel 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Motel 6 and ball it up.
I
and
won't.
throw it
I won't
out.
say the comedian's name because I don't want to blurt it out. But this comedian stayed with us at the hotel that I worked at,
Okay.
and anytime he needed anything, he would tip $100
Wow.
Every time.
Wow.
Like even if he asked you a question,
Okay.
like, hey, how do I get to blah blah? Oh, you just take this, this, and this. Here, thank you, appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Would this comedian say that Cleveland rocks? Did I nail it?
Yes,
That guy's the best.
yes.
That guy's the best.
Wow,
He's the best.
wow.
Dude, that guy has bought everybody I know drinks and meals. Dude,
I was like, no one's gonna guess this. Let me keep this guy anonymous. I did my best. I did my best.
all my friends who we did Yacht Rock together, the old
Yeah.
series, like they were all in Vegas, and he was like, hey, you're the Yacht Rock guys.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get steaks. Didn't know him at all. Took him to dinner. Paid
Really?
for everything. Yeah.
Wow.
The reason and we'll still not say his
How
name.
did you?
the reason why he started doing The Price is Right is that he was like, why, man? I'm doing fine. I got,
Yeah.
I'm a Buddhist. I'm like mellow. And
Yeah.
his agent was like, what's your favorite thing to do? And he's like, tip people. I love it. And he's like, that's all this game show is. And he goes, well, fuck. Okay, I got to do it.
Wow.
Yeah. He
that's
loves
why he
getting
did the
people
gig.
money.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think he might be the new Christ.
Yeah, for real. Wait, that's so crazy. How did you figure that?
'Cause
that's what I'm fucked up about.
Dude, he's famous for it. He's famous for just.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I was just like, man,
Yeah.
I'm telling you anything.
And the wild thing to me is he doesn't even drink. He doesn't even drink coffee anymore. And like but he probably still goes to bars and just gets a club soda and it's like, here's $1,000.
Yeah,
Oh Jesus Christ!
I know.
I was about to lose my apartment.
Yeah. What bar does he? Let me go work at this bar.
I know, right? Shit, can I do a one shift?
Yeah.
If I wasn't doing it, I'd probably be trying to write. I'd be always writing something.
Yeah.
I always had this thing. Like I would say I would be that guy who I remember listening to. There's a rock star guy who was just like, like an indie guy who was like, yeah, if I wasn't even if my record didn't take off, I always go back to bartending. And I'm like, where, dude? Where? You know how hard it is to find the jobs that pay well?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's like I bartended at like a Rock Bottom, which is Applebee's if they made their own beer.
Yeah, for sure.
And shout out to Rock Bottom, they treated me great. Good benefits.
Yeah.
You know,
Good benefits.
that's everything. But like, you know, I was like, I can't bartend my whole life. Like, no way. I get depressed, and it's like I have a kid now, and it's like I get tired at 9 p.m. So it's like I would write, and then I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, bartending would stress me out.
It's a lot, man. Kicking people out is hell. It's the
Well,
worst.
just you're seeing like people at a level that like that, that's all you know of that person. Like if someone's just like
and if they're
fucking
every
drunk,
night, you're just like you just want to give them an AA card. Listen,
yeah, man.
Maybe
Hey, man.
think about it.
Yeah.
And I always think about that Richard Pryor bit where he's like he goes through the process of being and he's get drunker and drunker and drunker. And by then he's throwing up on his girlfriend. But like there's one part where he's wasted and he's like, what? I'm drunk, man. You weren't saying that when you were selling me that shit. And it's like, that's it. Who is to blame but me?
Yeah, who's to blame?
I'm not, you know, it's like he showed up and, you know, I'm just making sandwiches or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, but.
That is an interesting, wow, what a take. And that he wrote that in fucking the 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
80, damn.
Well, it's like that's always the key. It's been said a billion times, but he was like the most human of comedians.
Yeah,
it was just
for
like
sure.
Everything he said, you're just
he was like
oh, I know what that's like.
He was like one of the few that like really was like super vulnerable and like let you into his fucked up world.
Yeah.
You know, which is like dope.
Yeah, and he was, I guess he was super honest. Like if you like if you were at a comedy store and you weren't funny, he would tell you. Can you imagine?
No.
You have an offset. You suck. Well, I guess I'll hang myself.
Thank you guys. That's my time.
I'm the greatest comedian of all time.
Yeah, you immediately walk.
I'm gonna go.
You're walking off stage, walking through
You know
the
what tastes
OR
good right now? Gunmetal.
Yeah, right. And he's like, "Hey man, that is not."
He'd probably say it in a funny way,
Yeah,
where you're laughing and he walks away and then just tears.
Yeah. Oh, thanks,
Richard.
Richard.
He's always.
All right.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What do you think everyone should try once?
What do I think? What?
Everyone should try once.
What do I think everyone should try once? Reading a fucking book. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm sick of these motherfuckers. I'm sorry, my English.
That's a home run.
My bad. I didn't. Yeah.
No notes.
No notes. Fucking read a book. Just fucking. I don't know. Everybody thinks they know everything.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's like, hey, I know you don't know everything. I just hate hearing people talk.
Yeah.
Like as if like I'm the guru of this shit. I'm like, eat a dick.
Yeah.
All right. And I say that respectfully.
Sure.
But like eat a dick. Read a book. I know you don't read books. You know how many people that fucking talk so much that do not read a book? Mm-hmm. A lot. There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, you thought I was gonna say bungee jumping or some shit, huh? No, sorry. That question. I don't know why that question made me mad. I'm sorry. Man.
No, it's. I mean,
that's too early.
That's it, dude. That is that's a solid rejoinder because it's that thing where you know the thing that drives everyone the craziest about like talking about any subject is citing sources.
Yeah.
And no one cites sources.
No one cites sources.
And you're just like,
yes.
where'd you get that information?
No
and it's
one.
just like random Joe 79 from Facebook. You know,
exactly.
like you know.
That's the shit that drives me crazy, right there.
And it's. I mean, I hate to say it, man, because I love just laying on the couch eating chips in my underwear. Trust me. But effort is the key to life, and you really have to dig in.
Yeah.
And you know, really and learn. You have to educate yourself. Read a fucking book.
Just read a book.
Yeah.
Once. Once. Because I tell you what, you read one book, it'll make you read other fucking books. That's why I say everyone should try it once.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm sorry I'm mad, yo.
I was gonna say something.
You guys haven't had your omelets yet?
Yeah, it's like, where's my coffee?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I was gonna say something dumb like mushrooms. Don't do them at the same time. Don't read a book on mushrooms.
Yeah, don't read a book on mushrooms.
No, but you know, yeah, read a book, read several books, then you know, clear yourself a weekend and go camping and take mushrooms.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there you go.
What was ruined because too many people started doing it?
What was what?
What was ruined because too many people
ruined.
started doing
What wasn't?
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard to think of something that hasn't been
Yeah, there's a lot.
dragged through the mud,
You want to start with war?
done to death.
Yeah, done. Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
chill already.
Yeah.
It's still going on.
Ruined. What's ruined? I won't say ruined because the people who created it are still using it, generally speaking, correctly. But one of those terms that's been used wrong more than any others, and I might piss some people off right now, is woke. You know, where it's like I don't love how a lot of people use it, but it originally just came from, hey, just look at what's going on around us, created by black people.
Yeah.
And then it kind of got co-opted by, and it just became this
They
thing.
took it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people use it in an entirely wrong way. And I know what they mean, but it's also like going, dude, like
This is my favorite, 'cause-
it throws me off because someone will be just like, I don't like that woke stuff. And it's almost like someone going, I don't like Chinese food. And you're like, that's pad thai, man. That's not. Jesus. I know listen, we're in a similar universe.
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite thing. I love the woke shit, because it's like the people that took it over. Like it's like, listen, I know you felt extremely guilty.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, yeah, we got to be woke. Everyone's woke, and I'm like, just like when those fucking, I don't know if you know these people, but those fucking actors and actresses that did that video during Black Lives Matter, all that shit, during George Floyd stuff, when they were like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was probably
was a lot.
the most. Yeah, how do you think that made me feel as a black man?
Dude,
Do you think I was like, oh shit, hey, we fixed it.
You're done.
Hey,
I'm glad you said it.
that was all we had to do.
Yeah, it's not.
We just had to get actors and actresses to make a video that say, hey, I'm sorry. I wasn't doing my part. But you know what?
Dude, one of those guys who does like videos and shit that makes me go, it's just easy for you. Because I feel like an old man, like setting the camera up and I'm doing bits. Is this how you get people to come to shows? But like this, Caleb Huron, he's the one who described this virgin energy of the audience.
Oh, okay.
He had a bit that was just speaking as a celebrity. He's like, I've given it some thought, and it's I've looked at myself, and I've looked up, and I've looked sideways, and then down. And it is all, you're doing nothing. He's just describing directions.
Yeah.
Where it's just like,
That is
pontificate. It's still you.
It's still
We're
you.
looking at your famous ass head.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything.
That was my favorite part about the you can see them reading.
Yeah.
They were reading like scripts. They were like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's it. Wait, is it this camera?
Yeah.
Black people, nope. Black people, I'm sorry. Fucking.
Not the multiple angles.
Wait. It's just. Yeah, I mean, I think of the abject clumsiness of a white person too. You know what I mean? Is like one of my favorites. My friend's grandmother once was like, and the black people. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I mean the nit. She said that. She switched. She switched the words. She thought the right one was the wrong one. It's like, oh God, Grammy, you're trying. Grammy, no. We're in public.
Yeah. Also, I would give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, I know what year you were born. I know what time period.
That's
you came
kind of
from.
you. That's kind of you.
Hey.
Yeah. But it's. I will also say that the thing that kind of drives me crazy, like maybe this is the one that makes me the angriest, is like the situation that's going on in Florida and stuff, where it's just like. They're like, it's where woke goes to die. And you're like, wait, what is woke? And they can't describe it.
Yeah.
They can't.
Oh, God.
And it's just like, you just mean blacks and gays.
Yeah.
Just say it. Just say it. You're going to lose none of your base.
Yeah.
In fact, a couple people will come out of the woods.
Yeah, I'll still
And
perform
be
that
like,
in Florida.
you finally said it. Yeah, right.
I'll still fucking
pay me.
Yeah, if you guys are fucking buying tickets, I'm Dania Improv.
Yeah. But it's like it is. I don't know of a word in like collective modern history I can think of that's just been tossed around more and just like reformed and it's wild.
I know.
It's wild. Dude.
It's also a dumb word. It's too easy.
Yeah.
I wish it would have had something a little trickier. Then people wouldn't say it as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you said like conchos. Like instead of conscious, but you're saying it wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to be conchos.
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 Yeah, conchos.
If you're not conchos.
Or you got to be conchoice. You
Yeah,
got to
make
choose to be
conchoice.
conscious.
Yeah. You
got to make a conchoice. You got to make a conchoice in your life.
Conchoice. Ooh.
Let's all make a conchoice.
Yeah,
Let's all make.
Where's our camera?
Let's all make a conchoice.
What is something you wish other comedians would stop doing?
Oh man.
Wait, is this a real question?
Yeah.
That
This is a fucking. What's one thing I wish? Oh, I wish comedians stop worrying about other comedians.
Yeah.
How about that? That's a fucking easy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always think about that when people why is it? Why do you need to talk about that person? What the fuck does that person? Like these people don't sell your tickets. They don't gain your audience for you.
Right.
So what the fuck does it matter? What the fuck? Why are you talking about them?
Yeah.
I hate that. That's like one of my like things that drive me crazy. Like just fucking hey, do your comedy. Do your fucking shit. Get your fucking fan base. Or eat a dick. Respectfully. I know I keep throwing that out there, but that's like my favorite.
should be called Eat a Dick.
Yeah. Long time no eat a dick. I don't know.
Honestly, when you reach a point where you kind of just go, even if you hate what somebody's doing, just go, it's just not for me.
Yeah, just
It's
like
just
and
not,
move on.
And it is wild how people are just, oh man, I've had it from, a few where it's kind of like, so and so's playing big theaters now, and I'm still no. And you're kind of like, yeah, but you're still no. It's like, are you selling any? Are you, because it goes.
Exactly.
Dude, I've been doing this so long. It's like it goes up and it goes down and it goes, it
Yeah.
goes front and it goes sideways.
Yeah.
But it's just like I remember being the hot kid and like, that leading into stuff. And then, now I make a living at it and sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. There's always someone on the scene who's blowing up, who you might be like, wow, or you might be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
biggest thing in my span was the so-called YouTubers and people now, the TikTokers who are like, they sell great.
So great.
Not a lot of them put on a fantastic show.
For sure.
But they still, listen, people are going to see them, and none of anyone's whining, especially mine, is going to change that. And there's always one phrase that sticks in my head. I don't know who said it, but they were not white. And it was, what you eat don't make me shit.
Okay.
So it's
that
kind of
definitely
like,
was not a
it
white
doesn't
person.
make, it doesn't, it's that thing where it's like,
Tiffany Haddish?
this has nothing, right, maybe. This has, Red Fox? Like,
Red
this has nothing to do with me.
It literally doesn't, because it's like, what is talking about this other comedian done for your day as your individual comedy?
And how has it furthered your comedy?
Yeah,
are you looking at what you can actively do,
Yeah.
or are you bitching about the stuff, all the stuff like built up against you?
And I get it.
And I fell into that hole a lot.
Yeah, a lot of us have it, and I get it because there's so many of us. Everyone's fucking trying this shit, and a lot of times you think you're like, really killing it and all that stuff. Like, I never felt threatened by like YouTubers or like I don't really post a lot of like fucking clips online. Like, I don't feel a threat to that because I don't think that's the only way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it has, boosted people's careers tremendously, and like I've seen so many people just been able to do a lot of great things because they've been posting clips and all this stuff.
Right.
But like, it's not my cup of tea. But also, I don't think that's the only way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not saying I sell out or anything. Like, there's times where did I go? I went to fucking Louisville, Kentucky. And let me tell you something, Louisville. I fucking cheered at your damn college, okay? But I went there to do a weekend of shows. I tell you what, I was late for my flight, right?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, have the openers do a little bit longer because I got there right when the show started.
Right on.
I landed when the show started.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But luckily the club wasn't like too far from it, right?
Oh, great. Okay.
I get there, man, and then GM's walking me up, and I was like, did the show start yet? He goes, oh, no, not yet. I was like, are there people here? And he goes, oh, yeah. I was like, how many? 12.
Yep. Yeah. That's a real ball stomper.
Oh. And I was like, you know what? Hey, then I was like, you know what? Night one.
Sure.
Thursday. Right?
Yeah, Thursday's tough.
Friday. 15 people.
Better than 12.
Better than 12. 15. Third night. 65.
Hey, there you go.
You know how big the room was? 300.
Yeah. That's the worst, when it's a barn.
Yeah.
And they won't sit together.
Yeah.
They're just scattered.
But also, because I don't think that's because I didn't post any clips or anything like that. I just think that's just not my area. Okay?
Yeah.
But, like I said, like, I feel like I still do pretty damn good and been, like, building still pretty damn well.
Yeah.
Based off the shit that I just been doing.
And I think honestly the only failure would be is if well, like if you're just no one has ever laughed at anything you've said, and there
For
are
sure.
those people who try comedy, and it's always, to me that's like fuck, that's amazing.
Yes, dude.
Like you're
people-
like Evil Knievel without
Oh
arms.
my God! Like
You know, just like
there's
I'm just gonna go.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
like,
just gonna go.
please, your family is begging you.
Yeah.
Don't.
And
know?
they have such confidence.
Yeah, so-
they have
oh.
more confidence than people that are crushing it.
Can I my favorite I was talking to Joe Coy, and he wouldn't tell me who it was, and I'm glad I don't know, but it was like a comedian who hasn't been doing it a long time, and he was about to play the Forum. It's a big room. It's a big room. Used to be the Lakers room.
Yeah, you see, yeah.
And this comic was like, hey Joe, can I open for you? And before Joe could answer, the guy went, how much would that pay? It's like my favorite. It's my favorite. Because it's just like,
Dude.
how much will I pay you to eat shit and hate your life? And the
In
way
front of 17,000 people.
the thing, I compared it to being like, I don't want to train. Can I just enter the black belt tournament?
Yeah. Let me just.
Can I just have a guy punch me in the mouth so
It is
hard?
wild. That is
Yeah.
that is a beautiful fucking. I don't know. Is it analogy? Is that the word I'm looking
It
for?
could be,
Whatever.
yeah, or microcosm, yeah.
Yeah, micro. Yeah, they're fucking big words. I swear I read.
It's a
I
25
swear.
it's a 25-cent word.
Yeah. But it's that's the thing about comedy that people don't realize.
Yeah.
It's like you got to really understand where you're at. But the thing
Yeah.
about comedy, you don't have an instructor
No.
to tell you.
No, the instructor is life. It's everything.
But even in like, if a booker's like, "Hey, not yet," like people are like, "Bro, I'm at black belt. What the fuck you doing?" Like,
Yeah.
that's how they think in
Sure.
comedy. They're like, they won't book because I'm black or I'm female or whatever, you know. And it's like, no, like,
Well, no, and now, honestly, to your point, it's not that anymore. It's white guys going. It's because I'm white, isn't it? I'm a white dude because I'm straight. There's a lot. Oh, that's the thing. That's why I don't get booked. Listen, America. Can you imagine? The fuck? Trump hat.
Yeah, right.
What? Wait a minute. Shirt off.
Yeah,
Shirt off. Rahua. That stands for racial holy war. It's a terrifying tattoo. I'm from Oregon. Honestly, to me, the only failure is if you're doing comedy that you don't think is funny to try to pander to that
Yeah,
crowd.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like if I see someone who does like crazy videos all the time, like like Trevor Wallace or something.
Yeah.
Incredible videos, and I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna act like, and I go up and act like Trevor, and everyone's like, who's this middle-aged man? You know what I mean?
acting like he's a bro.
Right? Yeah, seriously. Act like he's a frat bro 5 years out, or something. And
I
it's
just
like,
graduated. They're like, what's up, dude?
actually, that might kill. That might kill. No, this is all die, bros. What's going on?
We get
And,
seltzer. What is it? Alcoholic seltzer? Is that what they call it?
Oh yeah, just pounding White
yeah,
Claws.
White Claws, whatever. I
Yeah.
don't drink, so.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I tried.
It's just it's that thing where people. It is. I've said this a lot of times,
Yeah.
but it's. I read in a book by a defense attorney who just said the truth just sounds different in court. It just sounds different.
Yeah.
When someone's like, he did it, and people are like, fuck, that guy did. When you say something on stage, people can tell. They can't tell if you're telling a true story or not, but
Yeah.
they can tell if you're telling a story that's true to you. Where it's like, do you want to be telling this story right now?
Yeah.
Because they can tell that's why we burn hours, is because fuck, I'm sick of these jokes.
Yeah, for sure.
I need to write more jokes. I'm
For
tired
sure.
of people want the immediacy, and that's one reason why we have all these crowd work videos now, is because people want, like, I want the moment. I want that magic moment.
Yeah.
And it's getting done to death. And that's not necessarily mine, but it might be a little bit, because it's that thing where it's a perfect thing for us because we've got to put content out. That's the rule.
Yeah.
According to Satan, our Lord. But, and it's like, but it's when you post content like that, you're not burning material. So it's like, okay, cool. But at the same time, there are comics out there, and I've only heard about this. I've never seen this in clubs much, but they will hire like 5 camera people to follow them around, and all they do is crowd work to a tiny crowd, and the tiny crowd is kind of in hell.
For
Because
sure.
it's like, you got to mix it up.
For sure.
You got to mix it up because, when you watch those videos, you can kind of tell because it's just done through massive editing. Not
For
that people
sure.
care much.
Yeah.
And honestly, it doesn't make me mad, but when it's a real thing, when you really see it, like Back to Patrice.
Yeah.
Right, or that album where he just finds that guy with the funny name.
Oh,
Tolu.
Yeah.
It's the funniest
Dog.
shit in the world.
Yeah, it's funny.
Because he's having so much fun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a font of relief is coming out of him when he's like, oh my God, what is your name?
Yeah.
I hate your name.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
But then
great.
he built like a whole thing off of it, which is like
And people
a lot of times it's just like, I'm gonna keep asking you questions, or whatever, which is like whatever. Do what you do, make it happen the way you want to make it happen. But I don't know. There's something to me. I think the hardest part of stand up is writing a structured joke.
100%.
The hardest part of stand up is writing a structured joke because a lot of times
Don't you? I bet you're like me. You love doing a show where you have to make it up on the spot, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone just gives you a topic.
Yeah.
Because the work's done.
Yeah, the work's done.
Okay, just give me something.
Exactly.
You know, the expectation's a little
Jeremiah
lower.
stand up on the spot, right?
100%.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's
that's
like a perfect
what's
show.
the one that what's his name does with it where you have to end on the topic. Photographer, damn it. Comedy Store guy went to Austin. God damn it. It's too
Troy?
Yeah, Troy Conrad.
Yeah.
Troy Conrad, thank you. Yeah, I did that show, and I remember being backstage with Greg Proops, and this was back in the like Sketchfest, probably like 10 years ago.
Yeah, you said Sketchfest. I haven't heard that in a minute.
Robin Williams just shows up, and is like, "Can I do the show?" And I found this out later. I was on stage, and the guy's like, "Yeah, fucking." You want me to yank Braunger, right? And
Hey, we'll get off stage.
You're done. I just got up here. Shut up.
Turn his mic off.
Get the hook. Sandman comes out.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I go, and you know at Cobb's in San Francisco, there's that little it's a little alcove before you go when you leave, and I'm going down the stairs, and I stop, and Robin Williams is next. He's just standing there, and he just goes, "Seamless." Claps me on the shoulder and just bounds on the stage. And it was one of those things where I was like, you can kill me.
Yeah.
I can walk outside and just sniper, take the shot.
Oh, my God.
Pink mist. You know, like, it was just one of those things. But he was, like, he's one of those guys who you can tell he lived for that. You know, because writing is hell. Any kind of writing.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck, I got to just sit here?
Yeah.
All you think about is all the other things you'd rather be doing.
Yeah.
You know?
You know how many times I've rewritten, like, the start to a fucking joke, like, of how to intro it? Because there's so many different ways, and I'm like, I can say this, I can say, but then I'm like, is that clear up top? You know, like,
and I bet you say it differently on stage every time. Too.
Every time.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, like, but I actually love that process because I love the way it makes my brain think. You know what I mean? And that's why I love, like, I mean, I don't know. I'll say this, and I say it respectfully, you know, because it's not. I'm not trying to diss crowd work, but like you non-comedians, like you could be with a group of friends, and y'all could just be fucking, you know, it's just like that. I mean, I think a lot of people, you know, are able to do it, but you know, to the level of some people, you know, have like Ian Bagg.
Yeah, he can. There are other comedians like Ian that can improvise a whole hour.
And it's like, what did I just watch?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. To where he just like his brain is, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of times. So for me, I don't know. I just love going up on stage and talking about this shit that I wrote, and the fact that people like are just so drawn to it and pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Like, it just excites me, you know.
Yeah.
Like, if I do crowd work, I'd rather just keep it at that show.
You know
what I mean? I'd rather just keep it. The moment happened right there. I don't need to take that and like I remember I had a really big moment in Baltimore at Magooby's or whatever, because I won't say Lutherville Timonium because that's where it's at.
Okay.
But it's like, I'm not using that word.
Sure.
I had this big moment on stage where, because a lot of times, like, I'm a different black guy. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's
That's a strong statement.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm a different black guy.
That's a
you
good
know?
one.
Like one of my favorite bands is Built to Spill. You know?
Oh yeah,
see
great
what I did
band.
there? I dropped the band from his area. Okay, you see what I did?
You can just look at me and know I love Built to Spill.
I know, right? So, but I had this moment on stage. I was talking to this dude, whatever, and there's a lot of black people in Baltimore. You know, like and a lot of times black people, they know exactly that I'm like, he's a different black dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I had this big moment on stage where I brought up Good Times and I sang the theme song, and they were like, I did not know that was in this dude's fucking body because the way he's been talking about Pearl Jam for the past 15 minutes. Black people were like, "Who the fuck is Pearl Jam?" But I had this big moment, and after the guy that was hosting, he was like, "Yo, man, like, you want to film your stuff like?" And I was like, "Nah." I was like, "That was right there."
That's cool.
I had fun with it right there, and I was like, "I'll let that be what that is." I just like that it was there, right there, and it happened.
And you don't want to fake it.
Nah, and I held on to it, and it was exactly. I don't want to force this thing to happen. That was just an organic thing that happened, and something I found, and something I was able to do, and I just want to leave it.
Yeah,
right there.
and I mean, it's like on the top. Basically, the top was what you want comedians to stop doing, or was that it? Well, is a lot of comedians right now listening, I want you to get ready to just say gay out loud in your car. Just get ready. But honestly, my biggest one is just stop trying to fake the magic, because the moment you talked about, and like those moments where an actual moment of crowd work, like just boom, just hits.
Yeah, just hit.
Stop trying to force that.
Yeah.
Stop trying to force, a perfect delivery of a joke. Stop trying to, it is this thing, not to be all friggin' zen or like use the force, Luke, or whatever, but that's the great thing about live performance is once you get it on tape, it just doesn't hit as hard.
It doesn't hit as hard.
It will never hit as hard as you sitting in the actual room. Never, never, never. And that's the only reason why AI doesn't scare me that much. Not for us, because it's just, you're never going to have,
I'll fucking fight AI.
Even if you put every comedian together in an amalgam and it's a hologram, which, what a fucking hideous creature that would be. And it wouldn't, the show would suck. Because you'd see it once and you're just like, ugh.
So that's the beauty of comedy is the live aspect.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then obviously, like, but also there's a lot of great, like, the specials are fucking, like, I mean, I religiously watch Raw, all the Eddie Murphy Raw, fucking.
I'll watch Raw and Delirious just for the confidence.
It's
fascinating. It's fascinating.
And he was 22 Delirious, 24 for Raw.
Yeah.
I'm 36.
And dude, so am I.
I know. Let's go, bro. White Claw.
Pearl Jam. Even flow. But you guys got to clear that. Pay for that song. But it's wild that when he was on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, is him talking about how many times he bombed. Yeah. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? Mm-hmm. You watch that stuff and you're like, you've never bombed.
Yeah.
But he just had, I would feel, honestly, a supernatural sense of how to perform and how to navigate the business.
Yeah.
Where it's like, he just locked in, like what he told, like with that story where Chris Rock was like, where he'd go to a club and be like, put your black people on. And the club owner was like, it's like the 80s. Who do we got? Hey, bartender, are you funny? And Chris.
Security.
Yeah.
Oh, no fight.
Guys.
Just get on stage.
Huge dude. Throw a man out. Get on stage. And Chris was just starting out, but Chris got up and, Chris added this amazing legendary joke where he was like, some white people moved next door to us, and my mom said, hey, here comes the neighborhood. It's like, it's a perfect joke. And
here comes the neighborhood. Wow.
And I don't know if he did that one, but it's like, he's like, he could hear that Eddie Murphy laugh echoing. And he was like, oh my God. And then Eddie was like, hey man, what are you doing? What are your plans? He's like, I got this movie called Beverly Hills Cop. I can get you a little part. And there's one part where he valet parks that truck he just stole. I think it was Beverly Hills Cop 2 maybe. He steals like a cement truck or whatever, but so they're about to shoot, and he's got his line, and Chris Rock comes up, and he's like, yo, man, where'd you get this truck? Like, just really pouring on the street style, and Eddie Murphy's like, hey, can we cut? He's like, don't do that. He's like, just talk like you talk. Just talk like that, and he just comes off, he just like, he's playing himself, and it was like, if Eddie Murphy would have just been like, great, like that's the character you want to do?
Yeah.
He might never have had a camera on him again. You never know.
That is fucking crazy.
But it's like, it's not even just himself. Like, he could see someone else and go, don't do that.
Yeah.
Which
respect, because that happened to me once. I know you got more questions, but
That's all good.
There's one time. So I came up in Phoenix.
It's 9 p.m.
I know, right?
Guys. No.
But I came up in Phoenix, and I remember there was this one time. like I was, I got pretty good with all the clubs, like Stand Up Live and
Sure,
Tippy
yeah.
Improv. They were booking me a lot as like the host or whatever. And then they booked me what happened to be my first ever all-black weekend.
Okay.
Right? And I never had done that before, right? And I told you I came up different.
Sure.
I'll drop more bands if you want,
Yeah.
We got. Who do you guys want? You want Oasis? You want who you want? You want Britpop? I'll go down the fucking line. So I remember I didn't even think about like nothing like I'm performing for black people. I didn't know, and I'd never done with an all black show because I'm in Arizona. Who do you think I'm performing for?
Right. Yeah.
Who do you think I'm? Right. So
Burnt whites.
so I go to the start of the weekend, and it was it was Rodney Perry was the headliner.
Oh, yeah.
And I go up, and it was Tank City for me. And I remember like I was just up there, and I'm telling you, like, I got 3 laughs, like. And because I remember when I got off stage, my homie was like, "Man, you got about 3 laughs." And I was like, "You counted too?"
That's funny.
So anyway, I remember Rodney, the headliner, because I was like, I don't remember what I was just like pandering, right?
Sure, yeah.
And Rodney
yeah.
was like, he goes, "Be you." He goes,
Oh,
"I know
cool.
that's not you." He goes, because you're saying certain things, and it's like poking out. He goes, you got to let these people know who you are. He goes, I tell you what, right when you walk on stage, black people already know he different. You know what I mean? Like they looking at you like, but they want you to say it. Like tell why. You know what I mean? Like tell like what it is. And I was like, and then I walked up and I was just like, I was adopted into a white family, and then they were like, I knew it.
Yeah.
It's still like I'm telling you, and like that's how quick they could read me. It was just like I don't know if it was the Nirvana. I'm like, how do you guys? Is it the
Well, but
pants?
I mean,
is it the high waters I'm wearing?
That's the thing about an audience
Yeah.
because you're not being looked at. As an audience member,
Yeah.
you can break people down.
Yeah.
People profile people more than cops when they're in the
Yes.
audience.
That's
They
what
look at them and go,
exactly.
okay, I know.
Especially because I'm
like
the first guy,
this.
I'm the host. They don't know who I am, but they know that I'm different.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
wasn't telling them anything.
Sure, that's
I was just
interesting.
trying to like fucking.
Yeah.
I remember the song I came out to. I was like, bro, give me Snoop Dogg. It ain't no fun. And meanwhile, I love that album, but it's like, Terrell, that's not your energy. You gotta follow. It ain't no fun.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
Yeah. At the same time, I would say it's fun to fuck with people though too.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
it's like I come out to Taylor Swift sometimes, and I'll
Yeah,
see
yeah.
guys my age go, hey. Like,
Yeah.
come on. You're here, you get enough of this shit at home. 2 teenage girls. What's this? Where's Alice in Chains?
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing?
Overrated, underrated cities to perform in.
Overrated, underrated cities to perform. I think underrated Springfield, Missouri. Underrated Springfield, fucking Missouri.
Okay.
Was literally one of my favorite weekends I think I've ever had. That was like the Blue Room. Have you done the Blue Room?
Yes.
Yes.
It's sick room. Yeah.
So-
it's great. Good town too.
Good town, great town. Even though
Yeah.
I make fun of them a lot, actually,
Sure.
in my act, but but literally one of my I loved I was like I would vacation here because it's so chill.
Yeah.
It's like easy going, and people show up to the shows because there's not much else to do there. But like
Yeah.
that was like one of my favorite. Now overrated. Let me think. That's a good question.
Yeah. It's
Overrated.
I'm trying to think of it obviously like okay, I should come up with an underrated. Underrated I would say Bend, Oregon, because it's kind of like it's got it
Yeah.
feels is there a college there? I mean, I grew up in Portland. I go to Bend a lot, but it has a feeling like it's a college town. Any
Got
town
it.
that's a college town, it's usually pretty live. It's got energy.
Yeah.
And Bend is one of those places where, like I think I played a heavy metal bar there once, and the owner comes out, and it was a great house, awesome show.
Yeah.
But the owner comes out, he's like, "That was amazing," and I was like, "Wow!" My ego goes, and he
Yeah.
goes, "Nobody barfed." That's it. That's the barometer.
You
Fuck you.
You should have led with that.
Yeah. Start with that.
Yeah, start
You
with
buried
that.
the lead. Yeah, but but so I'd say that's one of those places that just gets like they're hungry. They're like, I want to see stuff. I want to be out.
Florida,
but
overrated.
Overrated Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah. The whole state.
the whole state.
Yeah.
Good, the whole state.
I haven't played Florida in a minute.
I love the way Sam talks about Naples.
If Naples was rated, I would say it was overrated. I think it's just Naples is such a weird place.
Weird place.
Oh my God.
Weird.
Yes. I just remember wealthy assholes.
Yeah.
And then just
like old.
And then just like women at the bar waiting to get picked up / married from various countries.
Oh.
Where you're like
yes.
thick accents where I was like, oh, you need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, because they got
to Chicago.
They got that old money too. Like they've had those dudes have been like
I get it. You're
rich
cashing in
for fucking years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Years. You could just tell
Yeah.
by their attitude.
Old money.
And I'm like, eat a dick. I'd punch you, but
Yeah, right. Exactly.
you got too much
Can't
money.
can't wait for it to flood. Yeah. But not that I wish any ill will.
Yeah.
But that's funny. I love how you called it a whole state.
Yeah. Florida.
trying-
I didn't even give you like a city.
Yeah. I remember, one that it's funny. I'll say I won't say necessarily overrated, but two cities that stand up is hard to do in because they don't really care about stand up as much.
Mm-hmm.
Miami and New Orleans, both towns I like.
Dude.
New Orleans I love.
Yeah.
But Miami is just like we don't leave the house till 10 p.m.
Yeah.
That's when we have dinner. Then at midnight, we'll hit a club,
Mm-hmm.
pregame a little.
Yeah.
We'll hit the main club at 3. Like, it's like, their
Yeah.
night goes into the next day.
Yeah.
Where it's like, your stand-up show at 8 p.m., no one's
I
coming.
had a tough time in Miami.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Most
I had
everybody does.
Yeah, it was really, really fucking tough for me in Miami.
It's because people just want to be out drinking outside.
Yeah.
Same with New Orleans. New Orleans is like, why would I see some asshole talk about his dick when I could see the most amazing music on planet
it's
Earth?
like,
I can drink walking down the street.
Yeah, I got to compete with all these fucking clubs and bars and the beach.
That's why there's no real comedy clubs. Last time I played New Orleans, I played a gay cabaret bar, which actually was fantastic because it was just like it was right in between.
He's being
all these big
progressive.
shows.
He's being progressive.
Yes, I'm pandering. I'm woke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But like, it's hard to say because I've had good and bad experiences all over the place. You know what I mean? And it's like I can't really think of one.
Ooh, Oxnard.
Oxnard, yo.
The Levity Live there.
Dude, I'm playing there in 2 weeks.
Oh.
Come see me.
Yeah.
September 16th, I think. Will this be out? One night, 2 shows. I will say the link they put up was busted for like a week. I'm like posting it in my stories, and just to check it, I clicked and it's just like not available. And I'm like, sold out. Fucking yeah, it's not. No, have not gone on sale.
You're off to a good start.
Yeah, so, hey, change their minds, Oxnard. Change their minds.
That was the one place where I was doing jokes, and I'm like, and I have a lot of energy to my act, and they just were not budging. At one point, I put my hands on my knees, and I was like,
dude, have you?
I was like,
dude, I bet
that got a laugh.
I bet that's the kind of place where I remember. I think it was Brea or somewhere out in the burbs where like my first big joke that hit hard after the pandemic was like when it was letting out when they were finally opening the clubs again. Was I used to say like, man, January 6th though, man, that was fucked up. That was crazy. And I would just let that sit where people were like getting nervous, and I go, can't believe I got in. Right in the front. And I do a whole bit about
amazing.
how I was like a whole story made up, of course, that I was drunk in DC when still partying because Biden won for weeks and weeks, and I just ended up on the Capitol steps, and I saw those red hats, and I was like, fuck yeah, St. Louis, what's up? Like, the story is, but it's like, it's like that joke was do well, but like in Brea, can't believe I got in. They were like cheering. I was like, no. It's a joke. It's just like that feeling of like, oh no.
What changes have improved your life so much you wish you did it sooner?
Journaling.
Oh wow.
I'm quick with these fucking.
That's a good one.
You got me on the stoicism shit right now.
That's good.
I'm very stoic. But
Journaling.
also, yeah, journaling is like, yeah, I'd say that's the thing that like set the tone for me when I moved to LA in 2018. Was like, I was like, I'm just, because I don't know, I saw this like when I got here, I noticed this thing that was kind of different about, growing up in Arizona. It was just like everybody needed to be somewhere. Everybody needed to be in the place.
They're on their way.
Yeah, everybody's like, I need to be here. I need to be there. This is, for this to happen. They would put themselves in these situations, and I was just like, how about you just work on getting good? Like I took that for saying that to myself. I'm like, how about you don't try to fucking hang or whatever? How about you just like try to be the best stand-up that you can fucking be? Like I thought about that, and I just, and I was like, how about you wake up in the morning, you fucking journal, get your mind right, get your fucking mind right, take care of yourself first, and then fucking. Go, because you can lose your sanity that fucking way.
Oh yeah, your mind is its own worst enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
Really
and I was just like, I don't want to get caught up. I was like, I'm one of those people like usually after my set, I fucking, I take off. The momentum I use to walk off stage, it leads me right to my fucking car.
Well,
I swear to God, dog.
When I started, I used to.
You guys have a good night.
Oh yeah, I love.
I wish I had a videographer. Just
I love the lone gunman. Elvis has left the building. As soon as I got off stage, I'd be like, fucking done.
Yeah, exactly.
Bang.
Yeah.
Good night. But like I found hanging out after the show, even if I'm not having a drink, people like not to for your ego, but if people are like, hey, I wanted to thank you. Or whatever, like it sticks in people's heads. Yeah. Plus, people will take a picture with you, and then they'll post it, and that helps. And it's just like, oh yeah, dude, that to me is also the job. Where like just not glad hand or anything, or stand in front of the door.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What did you think? Come here.
Standing there, and
That mustache. That guy was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for coming as they're walking.
I know.
You guys had a good
dude, what did you think of myself? I think for me it'd be a combination of like, to second what you were saying, kind of being in the moment and not trying to go someplace else. Like not even even in your mind. Just be here for a second and just be fucking grateful.
Yeah.
Like have perspective.
Yeah.
I had so little perspective when I was younger, where I was really hedonistic. I was going out, like drinking every night and like treating comedy as a reason to party and, trying to get laid and stuff like that, and just where I was kind of like, and I haven't stopped yet. Never gonna stop. No, welcome back to Creeps. But just you look. It's just a guy holding his dick. I was just profoundly mentally unhealthy in a lot of ways. Where I was just like, it was just you're just trying to You're not conscious of how depressed you might be. You're chasing the next thing. You're trying to be, and that's the hardest thing with our job, because it's all about you. It's you. We have all this freedom. We have all this control.
For sure.
But we don't have that control over our lives, and we have to recognize that. Someone said, and on some kind of social media thing where the guy was just talking about free therapy he's gotten in his life, where someone just said to him, like, the reason why we think the worst is going to happen is because we want to be in control, and if we call it, then we are in our mind. So that's one of those things why you put yourself down, why you say you suck or whatever. But like it's I wasn't aware of how much I was actually doing it. I was just numbing myself. Where, and not just with alcohol or drugs, but also with just kind of consciously being unconscious. Being like, I'm not going to think about it. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Because that's going to fix everything. Yeah. If I can play a room that big, fixes everything. Dude, if I get a Netflix special, fixes everything. And it's like, no, it won't. You're going to be the same fucking sad, scumbaggy idiot.
Yeah, because there's a separation you got to understand of being a comedian and being a human.
100%.
There's a huge fucking separation. A lot of times, like, people, like, I'm like, why are you making life that fucking difficult? Like, fucking, will you chill the fuck out? Why are you making this?
It's so true.
Like, literally, like, what we do is fucking insane. We're not fucking composers. I'm not fucking Mozart. Like I ain't writing.
No, come on.
I'm writing the fucking.
We're the weavers of myths. We're the
goofy-ass-
singers of
yeah,
songs.
exactly. Like
We are.
like we're not gurus. We fucking talk shit on stage. We say the dumbest things. That's just how our brain thinks. But like the dumb things we say, we make it sound really fucking cool.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Right.
I'm not a fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know why people sometimes think that. This goes back to my fucking. Quit thinking you know everything.
Yeah.
You know, because you made people laugh.
Yeah.
You know everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just fucking.
I always feel that was anytime I'm like just like get on a high horse, I go, wait, I make drunk people laugh for a living. Oh. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, how's your soul?
Yeah.
Is your soul okay?
Exactly. Have you watched like the thing that trips me out is going to like I saw Beyonce, I saw Taylor Swift, both at the SoFi Stadium.
Yeah.
Watching them just like they both looked they could just take a nap. Where I was just like, fucking how? How do you not have one moment of freak out? None.
Yeah.
And it's granted, we're trying to remember all our jokes. They have prompters and shit. They have someone that'll tap you and go, no, that's not we do a different song. Whatever.
Yeah.
But there's on the one, on the one. And it's, to me, like, that's the kind of thing, it's inspiring. And I'm not just talking about pop stars. I mean, anyone that does, like, live shit where, they do a whole musical. Or they do, there's a guy who does Stoned Hamlet. He does all of Hamlet high. He gets high in a room. And it's one of those things where I'm just like, fuck. I love live shit because all these people are just like, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna,
So anytime I'm just like, oh, I'm freaked out about this hour, it's like, no. You've been doing this a long. I remember there's a great festival in Pittsburgh that I've done twice, and the first time I did it, I was backstage and I was looking out and it's two balconies, like fuck, this is a huge room, and I was like, oh man, and I'm feeling kind of nervous, and like Chris Porter, comedian, was like, yeah, how long have you been doing this? And I'm like, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
It's like, you're lame. I'm not gonna go out and do ballet.
I can't remember who told the story, but Patrice said someone told a story about how they did this before they went on stage. Patrice fucking was like, what the fuck?
You're alone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, God's going to help you crush.
Dude, so cold-blooded. Dude, Neil Brennan said that he was, this is fucked up. There's a guy backstage who was pacing, before he went on stage, and he looks at him like, I won't say it because he uses the N-word, but he goes, like, hurry up and bomb, scared N-word.
Hurry up and bomb.
Hurry up and bomb. It's so savage. It's so savage.
Just that alone, hurry up and bomb. Wow.
I'm crying. Because it's, oh my God. Because
it is funny that we do that. We're like pacing, like, oh, like,
dude,
yo, you're gonna bomb.
My favorite is this.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hurry up and bomb.
You
know you're set.
You know the reason why.
You know your 10 minutes.
The reason why that makes me laugh so hard is because I've said that to myself in the brain without the N-word. But everyone's said that.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, I better just hurry up and bomb.
Hurry up and bomb. Okay?
Like, especially when you're talking about your show where it's 12 people.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh.
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
What is
I
this?
forgot to tell you a funny part about that. So when the GM was walking, I had to walk. So the only way to get to the green room was to walk through the showroom.
Oh, wonderful.
Right?
The best.
And I'm in my sweatpants and I got my suitcase or whatever.
Yeah. Oh,
and
God.
someone goes, showing up late to your show?
Yeah.
I was like, where's the rest of you fucking 12 people here. Yeah. I'm not late. You fucking motherfuckers.
Dude, we should start when we find out, like, we should ask ahead of time, or have our whoever's advancing our show be like, do we have to walk through the crowd to get to do we have to walk through the audience?
Oh my God.
And just show up in like a robe, one slipper, cigarette.
Like I'm a boxer. Just fucking
All right.
Who's that guy?
Last question. What's the hardest you've laughed?
Hardest I've laughed?
Fucking life?
Yeah. Recently, anything. Just
Oh.
a big
I've
laugh,
laughed in
big moment.
life. Hardest I've laughed. What? Damn.
I guess we just got to pick one.
Yeah.
I'll say one that I remember, because to me, you know, Carlin said the hardest, the best laugh is the stifled laugh, like kneeling in front of a casket at a funeral. You know, like you're just like you want to laugh so bad. It's something someone said to you. You know, like I have a joke on one of my albums where I saw a girl with a dragon tattoo, and this guy named Al, who's from Chicago, is a friend of mine, was next to me, and there's a horrific rape scene in that movie, and after it's over, it's just silent, and Al in my ear just goes super quiet. I'm sorry, is this We Bought a Zoo? And like, ruined me. But I there was I was so fucked up, but I remember like doing when I did my New Faces group was like Nikki Glaser, Tom Segura, and like forgetting it, like it was so long ago, but I only bring it up because I remember they were both backstage, and there's a guy, he's an English comedian, he's very funny, but he kind of just talks about the minutia of life. Right, and now he plays like like Wembley. He plays like he's fucking beyond. He's so huge, and but his his bits were like wait a minute. When did I drink all this water? Did I drink this water? I'm done. Wait, there's this much left. This much left. This much left. This much left. No. Like a lot of that.
That was it.
A lot of that. I'm doing his shit badly, but and he had like a suit with like stars and moons on it, so he like dressed funny, and like. Tom Segura, I don't know if I did my set yet or I'd done my set, but it's like the problem with doing New Faces or doing any kind of thing where like, here's the new crop, you're so fucking nervous. It's really hard to be yourself. And I was lucky enough to have a really good set. People that didn't smash were like, I should kill myself. And we're all talking each other down, right?
Yeah.
But I remember Tom having his head screwed on tight, because he and I were already playing like all kinds of shitty rooms and stuff. But like, while this British guy's on stage, I remember he's doing a whole bit about tripping, literally tripping, walking the street, tripping. And you're like, you walking? I say, just walk. The plan was to walk, but this foot, it said, I'm going to trip. And I said, did I say trip foot? Nope, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. And he's just doing that. And Tom is just acting out the whole thing along with him. And he won't stop staring into my eyes. And hearing that and watching someone make fun of this dude's act, it was pure catharsis. I was crying. I was laughing so hard, I was like, dude, something's going to rip. Stop, dude. Stop. And Tom with his eyes and his looks and shit. And he's just fucking, what? And he's fucking walking like a duck and he's tripping over shit. And it's one of those things where that's one of my favorite memories of festivals of all time.
Yeah.
And I've done most of them, and like it was one of those things where I was just like, fucking thank you.
Yes.
I needed this.
Yeah.
Because fuck the industry, fuck everything.
I know.
Fuck how sick to my stomach I've felt the last 4 nights.
And meanwhile, you're
thinking
just like,
of this, and then this guy's just clowning another comedian who, and I'm telling this story on record. I've done it before, and like, nothing against that guy, but it's like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's like it's comparable to like what Seinfeld does, where he wasn't unfunny, and I'm doing a butchery of Zach, but the whole bit was just a guy who tripped, and Tom is it was just the combination.
The combination, yeah.
So I was like, I can't think of a time I've laughed harder than that.
My New Face, I actually didn't even understand what JFL was when I got it. Like when they told me
Good.
I got it, I was like,
yeah,
right, because I got it.
Yeah.
Like shortly after I moved to LA.
Wow.
Yeah, I auditioned for it. My manager at the time got me auditioned for it, but I didn't understand. People were making a big deal out of it, and I was like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, why are they doing a fucking? Why are we going to Montreal for a fucking? We're Americans.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Why are they coming to us?
Well, I know they're fucking, but like fucking.
Sure.
Why are we going to Montreal for a fucking festival? Then when they told me I got it, they're like, don't say anything. I was like, I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not allowed to tell anyone.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. I still had no fucking clue. And then.
What year was this?
2019.
Okay.
Yeah. And then get there, whatever, like, and I was Shane Gillis. I'll just say Shane Gillis was on the fucking lineup.
Yeah, okay.
Just that right there, like, alone. And that's when I was like, oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they think I'm funny.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to, like, really realize that. But, like, yes, that environment of, like,
Yeah.
of being out there, like because you're performing in this theater.
Yeah.
But it was like just so dope. It was like great vibes. Punky Johnson was also on the lineup. Like it was just that fucking feeling of like, yeah, fuck that industry shit. Like this is
well when we
they don't know
when
about
we see
this.
each other.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like using the term where like
But also book me industry.
Come on, please. Like a lot of us use the term civilians, which means non-comedians, and it's like that's strong. We're not Navy SEALs. But at the same but at the same time, it's like you don't understand unless you really do it. And like when I did it was 2007, and that was when MySpace was the thing.
Yes.
And they were just starting to put sets up, and we had our practice sets the night before, and these assholes put our sets up.
Yeah.
Right? Like days later. And it was like I went from the high of I killed to literally every comment. Who's this guy? Fuck him. You suck. I'm talking nothing but negative.
That's when the comment section really started like, we
MySpace
could
comment
talk shit?
section was death.
Death.
That was death.
It was death.
YouTube is death, but like MySpace is here's how much I hate my life. Fuck you and your family. But like it goes back to our point of don't take yourself too seriously.
No, fuck no. Wait, can you repeat the question?
Oh yeah. So what was the time last time you laughed so hard it was insane?
Oh, this podcast. I ain't gonna find nothing from back in the day. That's as far as I'm going back.
Yeah.
This podcast.
That's
cool.
Funny.
Thank you guys for doing the show.
Thanks for having us,
Thanks
man.
for having us. Yeah.